Doot 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 doot. Hey, it's time. We're powering on. I didn't have my mic down, but now I have it down, which means that it is on. Right now, I am preparing to do TRL, which is Twitch Request Live. What that means is that I am going to be doing some sketching, nothing super serious, sort of practicing reference stuff that I'm working on. But in between, I will take requests from the viewers that are in chat. Yes, Arazuki, this is Twitch Request Live. So what I'm going to do is, last time I was working on some Ray Harryhausen stuff. Hype, 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 robot hype, Gazbot hype. I like it. Are those improved AI hype bots I'm seeing on the side there? I think they might be. So what I'm going to be doing this time, though, yeah, those are the 2.0 bots. Awesome. So that is Arazuki. She created those bots for improved AI, so you guys could check out both of them. Follow them along. There's some kitty catums. Good job. Off to a good start. Robots and cats. So what I'm going to do this time, instead of Ray Harryhausen practice reference stuff, is I am going to be working on, I have a commission that I was commissioned to do of some kaiju, Godzilla monsters. Not actually Godzilla, but Jet Jaguar, Megalon, and Ultraman. And I worked on it a bit, but it's been a while. And before I jump back into it, I'm just going to do some sketches of those characters to refresh my memory. So, for example, if you see here, that's an alarm going off that I don't need, telling me I should go live. Let me see if you can see this on the stream. This is, nope, you can't see it. Okay, so never mind. It's Megalon Ref. I still don't understand how to use streaming, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because you don't need to see my reference. Only I need to see my reference. So I will go ahead and make this embiggened so I could see it more, but still see the chat. That is my goal. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a new layer. And I like to start with a big brush with a low opacity. So I'm going to grab a random color just because it makes me feel less pressure than if it's black. And I'm going to start with 100 and I'll 75% opacity. And then I'm just going to be looking at Megalon first. And Megalon has a weird head. I'm going to actually focus on the head first. But Megalon is, I think he's been in 2 movies. He's an old Showa era monster, meaning I guess 60s-ish, 60s, 70s. The eras in Godzilla are based on Japanese eras, which I'm no expert in, but I know there's Showa, Heisei, and then what they call the Millennium eras of Godzilla movies, but it's not exactly 5 years or 10 years or anything like that. It's a little bit more flexible, loose, I don't know. But anyway, he's from the earlier movies, the cheesier, goofier, where Godzilla's kind of a hero. And this particular movie that I'm thinking of was Godzilla vs. Megalon, which introduced Jet Jaguar, which was a character similar to Ultraman. He was like a robot, size-changing hero, and it had Gigan. So it had 2 enemies, and then Godzilla and Jet Jaguar teamed up to fight them. And it was one of the first Godzilla movies I saw, or at least one of the first ones I owned. I had a VHS tape of it a million years ago, and I watched it all the time, and it was one of my favorites. I mean, I guess it still is my favorite in terms of sentimentality. And I really like Jet Jaguar, which led to my love of Ultraman. But meanwhile, I was commissioned to do a piece, and it's a little bit unusual because it's the person wanted Megalon, who I'm sketching here. He wanted Jet Jaguar. Okay, they were in the same movie together, they're in the same universe, and Ultraman. Ultraman, who is Subaraya as opposed to Toho, so it's a completely different universe, like a Marvel DC thing. However, Ultraman was definitely in part influenced by, Jet Jaguar was definitely in part influenced by Ultraman, and so there's a connection there. But the reason I think the person asked for the characters he did, aside from just wanting to see, certain favorites, is that there is a show coming up in a month or so, maybe 2 months. I think it's in New York, but I forget. That is going to have the suit actor, Sashi Bin Furuya, who plays Ultraman, the original Ultraman, and the suit actor whose name I don't know that played Jet Jaguar. So they're both going to be at a show for the first time together. I think the Jet Jaguar actor, because they're Japanese, so they don't come over here that often. I think the Jet Jaguar actor, actually, this may be the first time he's come over, at least the first year. So that's pretty cool. So he wants to get this print done, and I have to get it to him, within a couple weeks so that he will have it for the show, and he's going to get both of those actors to sign it. Now, I don't know if one of them did Bin Furuya didn't do a lot of suit acting. He's mainly was just Ultraman. And I don't know if the other actor maybe did Megalon, although no, that wouldn't make sense because he was Jet Jaguar. So I guess Megalon is just the villain chosen to fight them, and the two of them being there together is the main purpose of the print, that it'll get signed. Although it would be cool if at some point you could find the Megalon actor, assuming they're still alive, and come out to America to get the third signature. But for now, I'm like I said, I'm just sort of brushing up on these before I go back in to do. Yes, Sugotoshi Sugutoshi Komada, Airzuki has informed me, was one of the Jet Jaguars. I didn't know there was more than one Jet Jaguar. So I'm learning two things at this point. Because as far as I know, Jet Jaguar was only ever in one movie. So it's interesting that they would have two different suit actors for the same character potentially. This is unconfirmed. This is unsubstantiated. But that's the name of the other actor. So thank you for that, Airzuki. And she's giving a follow-up. She says, well, I mean, ... More info to come. He's kind of like an insect monster. The anatomy on these things are so weird sometimes. Sometimes they make sense, and sometimes maybe they only make sense if you're looking at the insect that they pulled it from. Or let's see, more follow-up from Airzuki. She says, I was covering my bases that like he was a suit actor listed if there's more than one. Oh, okay. So yeah, there are a lot of monsters like Godzilla, of course, that has multiple suit actors. But as far as I know, Jet Jaguar was only ever in one movie. It was supposed to be a spinoff where he'd kind of have his own series potentially, but it didn't go anywhere. So it's weird because he's this cult favorite now, based on basically one appearance, and most likely then one suit actor. And so the gentleman who we named before, who I'll look at again, Sugutoshi Komada, is likely the one and only suit actor to ever play Jet Jaguar, at least up to this point. Hopefully that'll change and we get a new one at some point. But as of now, that's it. All right, so yeah, he's got these sort of, it's almost like a gate in front, almost like the Predator thing. Like this part I'm drawing right now can open up and shoot like little energy balls. And then he's got, yeah, his whole head is very strange. Every time I draw it, I feel like I'm learning to draw it for the first time. Like a quick sketch of it works fine, but he's got all these weird little details, and like on his body, he's sort of got what look like feathers. I mean, it's not feathers, but what's up? Hey, hello, Ox. Hey, you're hosting me. You're the best. Look at that. Thanks for the host there. Samurai Ox in the house, slamming into things, knocking them over, but then replacing them or paying for them because he has honor about it. I was just talking about this character I'm drawing now is Megalon, and he is one of 3 characters I'm doing a commission for. Whoa, Airzuki, coming right back with the double host. Thanks to both of you. I appreciate that there's a competition to host me more. You're all winners. You're all winners. So the shape of this head does not look right at all to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge the top layer down, and I'm going to take the whole thing and bring it down to 25% and do one more pass. And don't forget, this is TRL, Total Twitch Request Live, rather. So I'm going to do a 1 and a 1. Last time I was doing Ray Harryhausen. This time I'm working on some Godzilla designs, reference, practice, whatever you want to call it. And in between, I will take requests from the chat room. Not every request will be honored, but every request will be considered. And when I'm done with this practice, the next thing I'll do is do a request from one of you fine folk in the chat. So feel free to start throwing stuff out, and one of those things will likely be chosen to be sketched in a few minutes by me. Ha ha! Everybody's saying hello to everybody in the chat. That's nicey when nice people are nicey. All right, I'm gonna look at my reference real quick and try to zoom in onto the face a little bit more, because I have the reference I have is like a full body thing. What is going on here? Once again, I struggle with this new Photoshop. It's like exactly the same as the Photoshop I was using, except now that it's counterintuitive. Like they've changed a few things, kind of don't seem to be improvements, just differences, and it's just enough to slow me down. Okay, got my reference back the way I like. Okay, so I think part of what I'm doing wrong is that there's like a little piece that comes down on his eye right there, and then there's an antenna that comes out. Look at thee, look at thee, look at thee. That's the biggest thing I was missing, was these antenna. So that starts to make him look a little bit more like he's supposed to. And then he's got this weird plate in between his eyes And the horn just sort of comes out of nothing. It's sort of a noggin horn. Nagasaki horn. All right, and so then this thing, it actually juts out on an angle, which is weird. The whole anatomy on this guy is so weird. I like him as a monster, but I actually really hate drawing him. I've drawn him a few times, and I've drawn him a few times, and I still don't know how to draw him. How does that make sense? I keep working it and reworking it, and I get it to look okay, but it's not like I figured out the formula, you know? I wish I had a figure of him. A lot of times I talk about toys being good reference, especially for stuff like this, because it's not like a cheetah or a pickup truck or something where I could go outside or look up a reference or go to a zoo. It's like there's only the stills from the movie, which aren't always the best at being like turnarounds. So often toys are better. And this is a case where I don't have a figure of this figure at all. The reference I'm using is actually a couple stills from the movie, but reference of these expensive X Plus figures, which I don't have, which are good, but it'd be even better if I had it in my hands. And I realize what I'm doing here. I'm giving him too much Bob Ross. I'm giving him too much on the sides. His mouth doesn't go all the way out past his eyes. It kind of ends by his eyes. So right here, these lines, that is where it should be ending. So I'll put these, he's got 4 little pincer things, but then they're on an angle, out like that. And I'm also getting bogged down trying to make it look pretty when the whole point is to just try to understand the anatomy. And then underneath that, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that go vertical like this, which you can't fully see. And then this is sort of a circular cheeky area and then some shadow and another circular cheeky. I'm calling it a cheek. I don't know what it really is. And actually, I think it connects more to this piece. I'll call it the fulcrum. It's not really what I don't know what you call it. It's a fulcrum now. All right, so for those just joining us, hello. Feel free to lurk or chat. But if you are here, I am cheeky. If you are here, what I'm doing is I'm sketching, working on some reference for this character, Megalon, but in a minute I'm going to then take a request, and I alternate between working on some reference studies for myself and taking requests from you guys to do a quick sketch. So if anybody has a request of a character or some kind of thing they want to see me take a stab at, I'm happy to do it. If it's something I don't know, I might need to look up a reference. I've done that before. Some stuff I know, some stuff I don't. And it's kind of funny when I end up having to do a sketch of something that I've never even heard of before, because then I'm making guesses and choices that might not even make sense for the character. But, you know, the point is, put it in chat if you want to see me take a stab at it. All right, I'm gonna take this, lower the I'm gonna get rid of the background altogether, lower the opacity to 50, do one more pass, and then I'm gonna either switch to my next reference, which will likely be Ultraman, or I will take a request. Because right now there's no requests. I see a couple people in there, but no requests. Oh wait, as I say that, a lovely blue-haired lady sent me. A lovely blue-haired lady I get. The sent me part I'm not clear on. Lady Analia? Sorry, I'm probably getting that wrong. Lady Analia, we'll say. Are you just asking for a lovely blue-haired lady, or is there something? Awanali. Lady Awanali? 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 Oh, you were sent here by a lovely blue-haired lady. I had said, does anybody have a request for something for me to sketch? And then so I thought you were answering my question, whereas you were just identifying the lovely blue-haired lady who sent you. So that is great. Erzuki is great. Thank you for checking it out. That being said, if you had a request, feel free to throw it out. I'm doing sketch requests as well. Looks like Samurai Ox is throwing something out. Do Gravedigger. Gravedigger, the monster truck, I'm assuming, unless there's another Gravedigger I'm unaware of. I'm thinking of oh my gosh, what's the wrestler's name? He's The Undertaker. The Undertaker. Pronounced like Anna from Frozen. Oh, I see. Okay. So Lady Annalie. Annalie, which rhymes with Hanali, which is where Puff the Magic Dragon comes from. That's how I'll remember it. Lady Annalie. Hi. Okay, you guys are just chatting with yourself, so that's cool. So right now, the only request I think I have is Gravedigger. So in a minute, I'm going to stop futzing with this guy because I think I need to take a look at the body to see how it inserts there. But otherwise, I've kind of got what I wanted to get out of this sketch. So as of now, the next thing I'm doing by request is Gravedigger, unless somebody else throws up something else that I like better in the next minute or two. I got a lot of chat going. I like that. How's it go? Oh, hey, Xavier. How are you doing? Thanks for checking out the stream. Another, I like when I get other artists in here, like Ox and Xavier, and I like when I get civilians in here. I like everybody, is what I'm saying. Oh yeah, the monster truck. All right, so I don't really want to draw Gravedigger the monster truck, but it's looking like that's what's gonna happen. Not that I have anything against monster trucks, I just don't think I may have never drawn a monster truck in my life, so it'll be quite a thing to behold. This guy has like little bug eye things in here too. That's easy enough to get. The bottom of his head, I'm realizing from the reference I'm looking at, I'm not sure what's right here. I'm kind of inventing detail. I think what I'm going to do is just put a quick shadow layer over, which is like my go-to to make something look a little bit more finished. And then looks like I might be doing Gravedigger. And I'll take this layer and bring it down to 50% and bring the brush up to 100%. So I'm drawing with 100% opacity, but I make the whole layer 50% so that you can still see through it. And actually, I want to make this brush a little bigger for the shadow. Do I take art commissions? I do. I do take art commissions. Oh, well, thank you very much. You have been upgraded to a cybernetic organism. It'll be scheduled shortly. I appreciate that, lady. I do take art commissions. I'm a little bit backed up right now, so if it was something you needed immediately, I'd have to say no. And depending on what it was, the price would vary greatly. But yeah, if you could send me a private message if you want to discuss it further, or you can discuss it publicly if you want. That's up to you. All right, I'm going to be done with this little study sketch here, so let me just close that out. Oh, I guess I should probably save it just for the heck of it. And I'll call it Mega 1. Mega 1. All right, I'll erase all this. And let's see in the chat if there's any other suggestions. Monster Truck. The link I shot up top, if you want something cute, is my mascot in Twitch and stuff. Oh, I see. Okay, well, let's see. I'll check out that list real quick. I mean, that link real quick. And this is, oh, that's cute. It's like a magic squirrel with whiskers that have little rainbows on them. That's cute. Okay, so we have that and Gravedigger are in competition right now. Is there anything else? Ox says, how familiar are you with Neil Gaiman? I mean, I know Neil Gaiman, the writer. I've read some of his stuff. Death or Delirium. Oh, like Sandman characters? I don't know Delirium. I know Death. I'll take. I feel like I should do Gravedigger because I'm gonna go ahead and do Gravedigger mainly because I don't want to, and I don't know what it looks like. So it'll be an interesting challenge. Let me close that. Bear with me a second while I open up my Internet Explorer so I could find a picture of Gravedigger. Because I kind of know what it looks like in my head. It's like a black and green monster truck, but if I try to do it without reference, it's going to be a nightmare. It still might be a nightmare anyway, but considering it's Gravedigger, that's just fine. Gravedigger. All right, cool. Monster trucks first thing come up. I was afraid I'd have to see a bunch of funeral homes or something. All right, yeah, so I was right. Green, black, a little bit of purple. I'm right about that. And now I'm just looking for a good reference I could actually draw from. Mainly because I don't want to. Yeah, that's right, Zuki. You've never seen Gravedigger. I've never seen Gravedigger in like real life. I've seen the character, for lack of a better term, of Gravedigger. I've seen toys of it. I used to work in a hobby shop and we had an RC control car of it. I've probably seen clips of it on YouTube, but it's not like I could draw it out of my head. There's a lot of detail and stuff that I just wouldn't know what it is. Like I'm not a car guy. I'm looking for most of these shots are profile shots. I was trying to get like kind of a 3/4 front shot to make it look cooler. All right, you know what? This one's kind of neat in the air, so it's a little weird. Yeah, I like a challenge. Okay. What? Oh, I'm not going to talk about that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this canvas because I want more of a landscape. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did with Megalon, where I'm going to start with a big wide brush just to get sort of the form down. And so we got tires, and they have to be connected on an axle. I know that much. And then the bottom of the car, whatever you call that, the floor. I don't know what you call the bottom of the car. I know there's a word for it. It's not the roof. It's not the trunk. I don't know what it is. It's the bottom. It's the car bottom. I literally cannot think of what it's called. These wheels need to be much bigger. Okay. And then, wow, there's like all kinds of pipes and stuff down there, and then like another pipe coming up here. Let me actually, I'm gonna reduce the size of this whole thing because it's starting to fall off the page. Oops. So I'm just gonna reduce it a little bit. Flutes and flutes. Okay. And then there's like a hood with like fake lights because it doesn't actually have lights. Like I feel like this whole top is very similar to the old RC cars I used to sell, where it's just like plastic. Like there's no the whole truck is probably everything underneath it, and this is just for show. And that should be pushed way back. These wheels are much too far up. Gravedigger Gazer. um, yeah, that's fine. Hit me up later. Why are we looking at? Because that was the picture that looked the most interesting to me. I couldn't, like I said, most of the ones I was looking at were like just sort of a profile, but this one is Gravedigger like hitting a bump like on air or something. So I thought that was cool, like because it's like an action shot. Here, actually, you know what? I bet you I could save. Nah, no, I can't. I'm probably looking a little bit more underneath than it should be, but oh, actually, yeah. Let me once again change the color to be a little bit darker. I'm gonna bring my brush down from 165 to 92. I'll keep it at 75 opacity. Okay. Oh, Xavier, well, I'm glad you could hear me. I'm sorry you couldn't before, but if it makes you feel any better, I didn't really say anything worth hearing. What we're doing is, oh, I probably shouldn't get that detailed. This is Twitch request live. So I alternate between practicing reference sketches for things that I need to work on later and taking requests. And the request right now that I'm working on is Gravedigger the Monster Truck, given to us by Mr. Samurai Ox. And I've never drawn this or any monster truck that I could remember, so I didn't want to do it, and that is why I'm doing it because it's good for me. It's like eating my vitamins, you know. And I feel like that wheelbase is way too close together, so maybe I should move. Just grab this and move it out here like that. That seems probably a little bit more accurate. And I'm probably gonna have to reduce the size of this whole thing again, not too distant future. Did you take your monster truck sketches this morning, Arizuki? I don't wanna. All right, so there's that, and then again, the piping kind of comes up like this, I think. And then it's there's a lot of it that I feel like is decorative and a lot of it that's functional. And because I don't know cars, I cannot tell the difference. Like normally, if you're doing like anatomy of a human, it's like okay, well these lines are absolutely necessary because it delineates a finger versus just a line of texture on a muscle or something. But with this, I'm not 100% sure what I could leave out and leave in. I'm gonna once again shrink the whole thing a bit. Because I'm going to go even more because I feel like I started off with weird proportions where it was too much like a regular truck as opposed to a monster truck. All right, and then this goes in like that, and then this goes way back, and that goes way back, and then it's got this weird, yeah, it's almost like there's pieces of motorcycles under it or roll cages or I don't know. I don't know what it is. Something to keep the pilot alive. The pilot, the driver, pilot, whatever. And then there's these like extra side shock things. I guess it has to have some kind of super shocks. And then, yeah, this is weird. This was definitely not a good idea for me to choose to do. And oh yeah, and the wheels are like turning independently because I felt like oh well on a normal car all the wheels are kind of in the same direction, but because it's this crazy monster truck with crazy suspension, this wheel is actually a little bit more forward than that wheel, which should be a broken car, except it's a monster car, monster truck. All right, what are we going here? It's some chat I'm trying to keep up with. I apologize. Ever since the 100s, nice. How's everyone been? Xavier, are you not in the Facebook group for the 100s anymore? I thought you were. If not, you should get in there. Um, it's a long story, but we want to know talking about things that are not art related. Ox has given us some dogs. Uh, okay, you guys can read the chat if you want. I'm not going to comment on most of this. Ox, I appreciate the boldness in taking the challenge on. Well, thank you, sir. I'm not thrilled with the results so far, but I'll do another pass, and hopefully that'll get it a little bit closer to what we want it to be. I do think my biggest problem is that I keep making the wheels too small, too close together, the whole thing like too compact when it's supposed to be this big ostentatious cartoon of a truck, and I'm having a real hard time getting it to be that. All right, and here's this sort of hood thing again. This, Yeah, I also probably shouldn't have picked such a crazy angle. I made a lot of mistakes today, everybody. I made a lot of mistakes. And this and the Gravedigger art I haven't even touched yet. And this all, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna erase this whole top part because I don't think I have it placed correctly at all. Then I'm gonna, through the magic of digital, I'm gonna grab this and just bring it forward a little bit more. All right, I think that's helping. And then I'll just throw some connectee lines in here and make that wheel there. And then I'm gonna, once again, I keep coming back to making it smaller so that I could fit more pieces. I'm very serious. I don't care if you guys talk about it. They're talking about like how we met and things like that, and that's all fine and good. I'm just I'm in art mode, so I'm not. And they're handling it. They're handling it. All right. So, oops, my stupid image keeps disappearing. There we go. So this part here actually needs to come way up, apparently. And then there's a whole bunch of techie stuff in here that I don't know what it is, but so I'll just put a couple pipes. Pipe. And you can't really see the back. And then there's these other pipes coming out, pipe, that I guess are the ones that are like, oh, it's Gravedigger. I'm not gonna put that in yet though, because that's not actually, but it's like exhaust pipes or fire pipes, or whatever we're gonna call it. And then the body goes up here and then out here and kind of close like that. And this is all just dark underneath. And was it, if I try to draw a monster truck, blah, 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 I would have a, if I tried to draw a monster truck in action over my head, I would have a something. Honestly, for not drawing cars, seeing things. Oh, I have a window over this window. Honestly, for not drawing cars at all, pretty good at seeing little things that I can see. Well, thanks, Ox. But again, the problem is I'm not sure what to prioritize as being important. You know, why shrink the art and not just widen the canvas? Also, someone is super chatty. How much? I haven't had any caffeine. I don't. I wish I had caffeine. I've more or less been off caffeine. I only have caffeine if I have to like drive and I haven't had enough sleep or something. I like caffeine, but I don't know. I was drinking too much of it, so I try not to have it. I'm just a naturally energetic mofo, yo. Fo show yo do for our Doctor Who fans out there. All right. Well, I'm gonna transform this bigger. I still think I'm doing something wrong here. I guess, you know, maybe the wheelbase needs to be over like that a little bit. And then down. It looks wrong, but it feels right. This is your normal speed. Yeah, I don't think I'm being that crazy. I hate it if I was having a super energetic day. I guess you'd think I was a crazy person. And I'm gonna make the. Oh, well, the question was, what was the question? You had an actual art question that I skipped. I apologize. Um, why not? Oh, why not make the canvas bigger? I, because if I made the canvas bigger, then I'd keep making the. Oh, do you mean like this on the page like that? That's not really the issue. The issue is if I keep drawing, I fall off the page entirely. Like you know what I mean? Like it'd be stuff would be falling off the edges. So I'm trying to keep a lot of negative space around it. So that I don't have to worry, because I could always make it larger to fill up the canvas or crop it, but I want to not have to worry, you know, when I put in other elements that they're going to not fit on the page I have currently, if that makes sense. All right, so there. Yeah, this, maybe I go in with an eraser and make my eraser a different brush here. I do feel like this is the kind of thing where using the eraser to draw details is probably more helpful, but yeah, this is weird. I was definitely right to not want to do this. I'm gonna bring this down to 50 so I can get a little bit more detail on the erasers. The hard part, well, the whole thing's hard, but I'm not gonna be able to really draw all the detail in the Gravedigger top chassis or whatever you call it has like the painting of the weird melty skull guy, and I feel like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that level of detail in here. Let me just make sure I get the shape right. Like, I don't even think I'm getting the shape right at this point. This is also taking way longer than I intended. Usually I crank these out a lot quicker. Okay, so there's the pilot. I keep calling him a pilot. I don't know why. Because it seems like this is more than a truck. Like I couldn't drive this. You need a pilot to drive this. So the pilot door is right here, and then he's got a little circle there, and then this schmutz that I'm gonna draw right here. This is like the skull head, and then it actually says Gravedigger there. This comes down, and that yeah, this whole bottom I think needs to be pulled. I'm gonna grab these wheels and say, okay, here's a perfect example. I want to pull these wheels down and make them bigger. But when I do that, they'll be falling off the page. So before I do that, I take the whole thing, shrink it a little bit, move it up higher. So now that when I move the wheels, it'll still have room on the page. And yes, I could make the canvas bigger, but I'm already drawing at 11 by 17. So I don't know how big do I want to make it. It'll start slowing it down and everything. So for some reason, this keeps, there we go. Sorry. For some reason, yeah, these wheels are still not big enough. That's got to be my biggest problem. All right, so I'm going to leave that like that. Actually, I'm going to move this one because they should also be further apart from each other. So I'll put it kind of like that-ish. And then I'll move this one out a little bit again. And they all need to be bigger, but I'm not going to do that in this pass. I'm going to do another pass. I pretend there's a thing he's jumping off of, and I keep calling him he like it's a person or male, but it's neither. It's a genderless object. All right, and I'll bring that down to 50, and then I'm going to go one more pass. I feel like to get this to really look good is going to take way more time than I want to invest right now. But I will do one more pass to make it look like something. I mean, the funny thing is, usually I'm doing studies of things in between the fun sketches for people, and this has now become a study instead of a fun sketch. All right, so let me take a quick look at the chat as I take a sip. No, not zoom in. I mean, like actually enlarge the canvas. I think I addressed that afterwards. Why do you do this insane angle? Because I'm an idiot. Us artists got to challenge ourselves from time to time. Yes, Ox. Unfortunately, that's true. Can I draw an airplane next? No, definitely not. And Master gives me some nice sunglasses. So thank you for that. Hello to everyone. Monster Truck, this boy. Wait, what is this? Pat's Airzuki says, Pat's Monster Truck. This bad boy right here. He's a good boy. Give him some oil. I don't know what that means. I don't even understand what that means. All right, so I'm just gonna go in and make these wheels 100% bigger. Well, 50% bigger, whatever. And I do notice they have like a cool tread on them like this, so I'll throw that in there. And I'm gonna be a little bit more liberal with my use of shading to cover up some of the details. You know, the old saying, when in doubt, black it out. Here we go. I don't know who said it first. I heard Jim Lee say it first on a interviews with the comic greats by the late great Stan Lee, actually. So Jim Lee and Stan Lee taught me when in doubt, black it out. I'm sure that wasn't invented there, but that's certainly where I first heard it. All right. And then I'll put a couple of these lines. I'm just going to pretend like I know what I'm doing now and draw some bold decision lines so it'll make it seem like it's right even when it's not. That's my trick. When in doubt, black it out. Be bold and make decisions. Yeah, that's my trick. All right, and there's did we ever find out what the bottom of a car is called? Does anybody know? Ox, you should know. You have a truck. And once again, I'll make this. Yeah, I'm just going to blast it all the way out, even bigger. And then this one, I'm going to put it further back where it shouldn't be. But this is a cartoon car, not a real car. I've decided, both in reality and in this drawing. And there's those funky tread bows. Hey, what's up, tread bows? Not much. We're just hanging out being funky. And this axle that looks like it should have snapped. Who's impressed that I know Axel? I'm impressed that I know Axel. He used to be a cop in Beverly Hills. Oh, terrible joke. Terrible, terrible joke. All right. I do think making the wheels bigger and crazier helps sell it as a monster truck, whether it's inaccurate or not. It makes it a little bit more clear. Oh, this is some kind of monster truck. And not the kind of tentacles underneath. Chassis. Oh, I thought chassis was the... So what's the part on top? The body? Like the... chassis is the bottom, according to Ox. So thank you for that. And then, but then there is a part, you know, like the part that's like red or blue or some color and has doors. Is that the body, I guess? And on this case, it's, you know, got a painting of a undead person. All right, a little bunch of little piper jipes. Pipe, 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 pipe. And these those and that those. And here's the fake It's kind of like Cars, the movie Cars, where they don't really need their headlights, or at least the racing car that Owen Wilson played. He doesn't need them. So this guy would be the same type of creature as the Owen Wilson creature from Cars. I don't know why I'm calling it a creature. It's a car, but it is weird because it's like a person car, which is how I've been referring to Gravedigger all along, as sort of a semi-person. So I've just decided that it is now canon. Gravedigger exists in the Pixar Cars universe. So happy day to him and us, and good be upon you. Yeah, the body. Okay, so the color part is the body. Thank you for that. I'm gonna put another piece in here, and I feel like you probably wouldn't be able to see these from the side, but it looks too basic over there. So throw a line back this way, go back in with that door thing, and then there's a bunch of whatevers, and I'll put two eyes and a little, I'm a monster man. There he goes. And then I'll write Gravedigger, but I won't really write it. And I hate this. It looks terrible. I regret everything in my life. Well, maybe not my marriage or my cats. I regret everything in my art life. And then there's those little jammers there. And he's like, "Foo, I'm flying because digging a grave." And then if I erase that, yeah, this is terrible. I could make this better if I keep working on it, but I don't want to keep working on it forever. So unfortunately, I'm going to end here with this very subpar Gravedigger. I apologize for my hubris and thinking I could do it on the fly, and for choosing such an ambitious reference photo. As penance, I'm going to not take a request and go back to what I was doing in between, which is what I was going to do anyway, so it's not really penance. Let me rotate this image. Canvas rotation, flutes, and we're back to portrait. And I'd watch Cars 4, Diggers Abound. Yeah, I would watch that too, Ox. Diggers Abound. All right, so now I'm going to do an Ultraman, and I'm looking to see if I have an Ultraman figure within reach. And I don't think I do, surprisingly, so I'm actually going to go ahead and just grab an image offline. I could probably do it out of my head, but the whole point is to, I'm going to be drawing sort of the back side of him, which I don't normally draw, so I'm going to be working on that. Let me check the time, 6:09. Probably going to go here till about 7, just in case anybody's wondering. Throg, make me one. Throg, you are one. I have made it so. If you want a sketch, Throg, throw it out there, and after I work on this Ultraman, I will take another sketch request. You want a burger? Oh, she's making burgers. You don't want her burgers. They're bad. No, I don't. I think she just bought them at the store. They're probably fine. All right, Ultraman, original Ultraman. Da 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 da. And Ultraman is another. Like I said, there's 3 characters in the commission print I'm working on: Megalon, Ultraman, and Jet Jaguar. So in between your requests, I am practicing sketching, studying, whatever you want to call it. And what I'm doing right now, I'm looking at different reference, trying to find a picture of Ultraman from the back, and actually having a hard time. And that's the view I'm drawing later, so that's why I'm trying to find it. And it's actually, I guess I'm not alone in not really knowing what the back of Ultraman looks like. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, I have an action figure of Ultraman in the other room. So I'm going to go get it. I'm going to quick do a little BRB for you peoples. And it will literally be like a minute. So I'll be right back while I grab that figure. Excuse me. Hello, hello. Well, I'm hoping people can hear me. Nobody is weighing in, but there is a delay. So you're hearing this like 30 seconds after I said it. So I'm gonna. Oh, it works now. I did it! Yatta! Hey! Dai, 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 rata, rata, rata. That was almost the perfect stranger's dance of joy. All right, so I'm making the head a little bit bigger than it should be, but that's all right. Because I'm mainly trying to figure out this fin thing on the back, and then this costume, the way it goes up, the color cuts. Color cuts! You come for the color cuts, you stay for the ultra beam. What? I don't know. Okay, that arm's a little bit small, but that's okay, because once again, we're not worrying about that too much. All right, we're just going to take this and use it as our skeleton. Bring that down to 25%. Put another layer. Ahoy, Boofy! Ahoy, hoy! Is that Mr. Burns? Ahoy, hoy! Welcome to the thing. Welcome to hearing my voice, which people couldn't do up a minute ago. All right, so the way Ultraman is, he's got this rubber suit. I mean, the actor, not the character. The character's supposed to be made out of light from space or whatever. But then there's a hard plastic or fiberglass mask over top of it. So there's a clear division there from the back, which you can't really see from the front. And then it goes up into a fin. Ox is already throwing out another suggestion. The hamburger transformer from McDonald's Happy Meal in the 80s. Oh my God, you guys are gonna kill me. Hamburger Happy Meal. Wow. Well, I still got a few others that were kicking around from before to consider in addition to the new one that Ox has just put forth. Plus, anybody else could put anything in that they want. There's no guarantees it'll get done, but I will give it a shot. And if you're lucky, it'll come out better than the Gravedigger debacle we just had. All right, so he's got a cut in here that's like the silver. And you almost don't see his neck. I mean, it just sort of goes straight down, and then he's got sort of padded shoulders, probably more muscle than the actor actually had. So there's like some kind of something in there, and then there's no clear division for the glove. It's more like a line that comes up like this, and it's got a weird. The whole design is sort of wraps around silver and red, but not in a super intuitive way. So then this goes down sort of to where the middle of the back is, like that, and then this wraps up here. And the other one here. Yeah, this is all stuff I would never know if I wasn't looking at the figure. It's such a weird. It's not super intricate, but just where those cuts in the color and the line come, I would not have expected it. So there's that. And what's going on in chat? Oh, same thing. Hamburger. Okay, hamburglar, not hamburglar. Hamburger. Hamburger. Yeah, there was a whole bunch. There was the French fry one, and there was the hamburger, and then there was like a egg McMuffin. They had a whole crew of transforming food items. All right, so then there's this line going straight down, which represents the zipper, and they incorporated it into the design so that the helmet has sort of a thin crest, and then it comes back and has sort of like you can see there's like a little floppy fin thing going down the back, which practically speaking is to cover up the zipper, but then it becomes part of the character design as well. So I need to actually make that like a fin, almost like a fish or something, although he's not supposed to be reptilian. So I don't know how they explain that really. All right, so we get this one coming out here and put a little butt zone. And this is all red, but then it cuts up this way. So everything is red and silver from the back. I think from the front there's a little bit of yellow, a little bit of other things, but so I'm just trying to get that down. So I'll put this in. I'll do one more pass. Will I see his arm? Not really. Okay, so I'm going to erase that completely. I'm going to take this one down to 50%. I'm going to do one more pass. Again, we're not trying to get finished perfect art. I'm just trying to get the design down for later when I do the more finished art. So I'll bring that down to 34 pixels. And I'm at 75%. And yeah, for any, I know there's some lurkers here, and that's totally cool. You don't need to say anything, but if you want to throw out a suggestion, I'll be doing a sketch based on a suggestion shortly after this. So now is the time. There's only a few in there. So your chances of getting chosen are pretty high. I think there's like 3 suggestions floating around. So if you put one in, that means you got a 25% chance of being chosen. And it's even higher if you try to pick something that you think I might want to draw versus things like Gravedigger, which I force myself to draw. All right, so yeah, there's a line that comes up here and up that way. And this is actually bigger than I thought it was. I think I made it a little too small. And where they come in close together, the yellow and the red, it gets really, really thin. I don't think I was achieving that previously, so I'll try to achieve that here. Really, really thin. And the bigger shoulders, really, really thin. And the neck, that looks a little bit more accurate to the design. And then we got the fin. And I drew it all the way down to the bottom of his butt, but it actually comes more like to the top of his butt, the fin thing. And it's a little less even than how I drew it. It kind of wobbles in and out, and sometimes it flips the other way. And go up to that. Dolly Girl. Ultraman. I am working on Ultraman from the back right now, yes. I don't know if you were naming what I'm doing or trying to come up with another suggestion, but I'm doing a commission print of Ultraman, Jet Jaguar, and Megalon, and I'm just doing some studies for that print later. And in between studies is I'm taking requests. Such is the way of Twitch Request Live. One for me, one for yous. One for me, one for yous. But never finished art shall we see on this particular stream. Not that I don't stream finished art sometimes, just that's not the point of this one. I definitely made him a little squatter than he should be. He's sort of a tall, lanky hero. The actor who played him in real life was quite tall, or still is. I mean, he's still alive, but you know. So it wasn't going for a big muscular thing. It was definitely a height thing, which makes sense because this character grows to giant size. Even if you use camera trickery, it still helps if you have them not be a squat actor to begin with, I think. All right, so make the butt come down a little bit more too. All right, and so all the leg stuff here is red, and then there's a big area, and right kind of under the rib cages, it comes back up into the fin. And the fin, oh yeah, the fin isn't already there. It's got silver and red in the fin. All right, so let me turn that off. Now I'm just gonna throw some color in here to make sure I have it straight in my head, the silver and black. I know some of you guys and ladies and others are working on art yourselves. Is anybody working on anything right now, art-wise? If so, shout it out. Shout it from the rooftops. Hey, heroes, why do I keep doing Stanley? I did a Artcasters last night where we talked all about Stanley, and there was a lot of Stanley impressions flying around, and I think that's still stuck in my head. Which isn't the worst thing. Stanley's got a fun voice. He's a peppy, zippy kind of fella. Oh, you finished, Xavier, you finished that TMNT print. I saw you were working on it the other day. That's awesome. Was that for a specific show or anything, or? My daily sketches working on car stuff. Nice, Ox. Yeah, cars. Wait, working on drawing cars or working on cars like the way a mechanic would, Ox? Either way, good job and better than I could do, because clearly cars is a weakness I have. Let me fill in that red. Yeah, see that now you can really see how it's supposed to go. That's kind of what I was trying to figure out, and then I'll just put a little bit of gray in there just to finish it up for this study. Oh, I missed the red on his glove. But yeah, it's interesting because it's not even the same pattern as on front, so I'm glad I looked at this because I definitely would have been getting this wrong otherwise. Erzuki. Okay, you're back. Xavier. No, just been trying to set up a book portfolio for cons next year. Okay, so are you not going to make a print of the Ninja Turtles you did? It was just to show in your portfolio because it's very nice. I'm sure it would do well if you sold it as a print. Drawing cars. Ox. November is motoring month. I'm still not great at them, but takes practice. Yeah, well, you've definitely got a better starting point than I do because Ox understands trucks and cars and things like that. I don't even own one. I share one with Erzuki, but I changed a battery once. That was a big deal. All right, I think what I'm going to do is make the hard mask a slightly different color, slightly shinier, lighter gray, because I think that is how it is, and even if it's not, I like doing that, and I want to remember to do that when I do the final. So there's that, and I'll just go ahead and put a little bit of blue in. Well, I'll do what I like to do. I'll do the fake, hey, it's a real piece of art by doing a shadow layer, 50%, brush tool, 97. La 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 la. I'm doing shadow tool, doing shadow on a butt. and then I'll do a little bit on the obliques, and this area here, what do you call it? I don't know. I think up here is a trapezius, and the deltoid tricep. Burp. I don't work out or anything like that, but if you go to art school, sometimes they teach you anatomy, and sometimes some of that anatomy sticks. Not all. Gluteus maximus. Xavier, yeah, it's a print for the cons. Oh, okay. Oh, I get you. So you are getting it. You made a print not to sell right this second, but for the cons you will be doing. That's awesome. That is good. I just found out yesterday that I'm going to be tabling at San Diego Comic Con for the first time ever. So thank you. So I'm alternately excited and nervous because I've done a million cons, so I'm not that worried about it. But I haven't done that con, and like I want to change my setup and get enough done and make sure I take advantage of the situation because you don't always get in just by requesting it, and it's expensive. So for both those reasons, I don't want to mess it up. All right, I'm going to call this done for now, and I'm going to move on to a request. So this is your last minute or so to try to request something real quick. What do we call him? Ultra. All right, I'll go ahead and erase all of that. I'm going to take a sip. Okay, so let me see. We're going to do request now. So let me see what I have in the chat if I missed anything. Ultraman. Got the robot hamburger from the 80s Happy Meal. I'm kind of leaning towards that, although I hate to give Ox two requests in a row. Oh, there was the mascot from the other channel. Dolly Girl was. Oh, cool. Dolly Girl? Are you thinking of attending Have you been to San Diego Comic Con before? Samurai Ox says, "Are you doing the tables a step up from Artist Alley?" I'm doing small press, which I think fits the definition you're talking about. There's exhibitor booths, there's Artist Alley, and then there's small press. Artist Alley is free if you get in, which I did not. And small press, you do have to pay for the table, but they're way cheaper than the exhibitor booth. They're still quite expensive, though. It's still probably the most expensive table I've ever bought. So, I don't need to make $1 million, but I don't want to lose money either. Oh, well, Dolly Girl, if you have not been, it's a lot of fun. I think anybody would enjoy it, regardless of your level of interest in comics or pop culture or whatever. It's just such a crazy. I always say it's Mardi Gras for nerds because the whole downtown gets flooded with everything. Spider-Man is on the liquor store, and Star Wars is in the clothing store, and there's all kinds of free stuff going on that even if you don't have a ticket to the con, you can kind of have a good time. Okay, I guess I'm gonna do. Oh wait, Where was it? I wanted to look at that other link that was sent to me earlier. Oh, here it is. I'm going to try to do this little character. It's again not really in my wheelhouse, but why not? Let's challenge ourselves, shall we? Copy, and then I'm going to close that. Sorry, I'm just getting my reference ready. I'm going to make a new window here. And put that in there. Okay. And then I'll move it over here. All right, I got my reference ready to go. Let's see. Dolly, yeah, Dolly, I have not. It is expensive. I don't know when the tickets go on sale. Excuse me. I don't know when the tickets go on sale because I get through the professional. But keep an eye on it because if they either have already gone sale or they're about to go on sale very, very soon. Xavier, I'm trying to get a con each month next year because I've got a monster on the way. Does that mean you're going to have a kid? Or does that mean you're buying a truck? I guess we'll find out. Yeah, con a month. What's funny is I probably average a con a month, but I'm not actually sometimes I do more than one con in a month. So I do at least 12 cons a year. But what am I doing? Okay. I do at least 12 cons a year, but usually not one per month. It's usually I'll do 2 or 3 one month and then none the next month, etc. But what's interesting with the travel too is because I was saying the San Diego table will be the most expensive table I've ever bought. But I just did Ranger Stop in Florida. I live in California for those that don't know, and I did the Power Rangers convention in Florida. that was one of the most expensive cons I've ever done. Not because of the table. The table was actually very reasonably priced, but I had to pay for a plane ticket and I had to pay for a hotel. And usually, if I go far, I have somebody I could stay with or something like that. So my total cost for that con out of pocket was the highest probably of any con I've ever did. And I didn't lose money, but I didn't make a lot of money either. I covered my costs and made a few bucks. But I do like Power Rangers and it was a fun con to be at. So with San Diego, even though the table is going to be more expensive than any table I've ever bought, I will likely drive down and I could maybe split the hotel with somebody. And so hopefully my overall cost will be less than Ranger Stop, even if my table itself is more expensive. Yes, math. Okay. Let me see if anything in the chat. Are you using the table? Step from there. Oh, kid on the way. Okay, cool. Monster can mean a lot of things, but grats on that. And so is your idea with having a kid? Hold on a sec. Oh, there's two ears, but one is down like that. Okay. Is your idea with having a kid on the way that you need to make more money, or that you want to get your work out there while you have free time, or like what is the impetus? What's the connection between I'm gonna have a kid and I want to do a show a month? What's the? I mean, I threw out a few ideas, but I do feel like having a kid, you theoretically will have less time to do shows, no? Unless you're trying to do them before the kid exists in our space, before it's born, I guess is a more normal way to say it. All right. I'm more or less just copying the pose of this creature because this is her mascot. And if it exists elsewhere, I don't know where, so it's not like I could look at multiple references to pick from. So this is going to be a pretty faithful recreation. I don't think I'm going to do the whole body either. I think I'm just going to do do I want to do the whole thing? How much time we have? 6:30. Got about a half hour. All right, I'll do the whole body. Why not? And that'll give me time for Jet Jaguar and then at least one more request. Chat says, I got to get away. I stepped away from back. Her name is Cupcake. Oh, okay. Is she an original character for your channel? She doesn't exist anywhere else. Okay, so I was correct. I can't see the drawing, Gazbot. Oh, geez. Nobody can see the drawing. What the heck? Let me adjust. Oh, I know why. Because, all right, sorry about that. Thank you for saying something. I need to find. Sorry. I'm terrible at technology. So whenever I have to do anything, everything stops while I'm like, duh. All right, this Mixa dashboard. This is going to be a problem. If only my tech manager was here. She's downstairs. Invisibility, yeah. Yeah, I'm drawing it perfectly. It's just invisible. Oh, butts. No, I don't want to log out. That's a bad. Sorry, I have Streamlabs open, but I must have hit something, so I'm in a different zone. I've only been using it for like a few weeks, so I'm still super new and stupid about it. Yeah, that's what I need to do, Airzuki, but I can't find that. I'm an idiot. I have somehow I'm looking at like analytics instead of my preview. So I'm trying to get my preview stream back up. I apologize for this delay. Okay, is that preview? Okay. Nope. What a butt. I don't know why it suddenly made it so you can't see. Can you see this? No, you can't see that either, can you? All you see is my dumb face. That's no good. Editor. Yeah, editor, see? There you go. Double tech support. Thank you. I shouldn't be left alone with these things. I can't be trusted with the technology. I need smarts to help. Okay, so I'm back in editor. Now I'm looking at window capture, and I'm going to go to properties, and I'm going to go Photoshop. Will it show all of Photoshop? No. For some reason, it makes me select a specific window, which I'll do. And there it is. I don't know why it disappeared before, but we are back, hopefully. What is happening? It's getting crazy. But why is it so small there? That's not how it should be. Okay. Oh, because you're on the delay, right. All right, technology is too powerful. I can't. I am terrible. Photoshop in the corner? What do you mean? I see that on the stream. Okay, here I go. Here I go. Nobody puts Photoshop in the corner. Oh, man. Sorry about that. I'm a mess of a potato sack. All right. It's still showing up all the way on the left, though. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, have a good one, Xavier. Good luck with the child and the art. All right, well, unfortunately, it's going to have to be on the left there because Streamlabs is stupid, and for some reason, it's putting it on the left. I don't know why. When I'm doing these practice streams and just checking everything by myself, it's like none of these problems happen. They only like to happen when I'm actually streaming live. And a little footsies. Oh, I see I was putting the foot up, but the foot should go down. Make the foots go down. 1, 2, 3, 4 toesers. 1, 2, 3, 4 toesers. And a little cupcake gibbles. And then this butt comes in more than that. And gibbles. And little claws, but nice claws. And once, see here, I need to make it smaller. Goo goo gook. Bloop. Because we're going to need room for that big old tail that Cupcake can sit on. Such a strong tail. Don't even need legs. Whoa, that is not what I meant to do. Brush. All right, and then this little leg comes down here. This little leg of mine. And then it almost looks like the foot is being used to balance on the tail. All right. And then the tail floops like that. And then this foot should be a little wider. And it kind of comes in here. Sort of like that. Although I think the whole thing should be tilted back slightly. Like so. It's a little bit more. And then I'll tilt, actually, yeah, I'll tilt the whole body back and then counter that by tilting the head back the other way. And then we get that sort of playful thing going that I think the original artist was going for. Goots. All right. So now we have that. She's got a prehensile tail. It's got a mind of its own. It often helps her swipe cupcakes. Well, that's something I'm glad I don't have, or I would be much larger than I am because I would have lots of cupcakes, especially if they were red velvet, because that is my favorite. Or French vanilla. I like French vanilla too, as long as it isn't chocolate. It's also why she's super poochy neck. Hey, look, it's Arazuki. Did you make your hamburgers there, Zooks?
Yeah.
Whoa, you heard it here first. Hamburgers have been made.
Oh,
yeah. All right, I'm gonna take this down. Oh, actually, I forgot about the whiskers and things. So it looks like one coming up here, and then one coming up there, and one going up there, and flute-a-doots, and squibble chops, and clips, and then cloop, 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 cloop. There's 3 on the right and 2 on the left. And then the eyes I didn't do correctly at all. I just sort of put an indication of where eyes are. So yeah, after this, I'm gonna do a Jet Jaguar study, and then I'll do at least one more request sketch. So feel free to keep throwing those requests out, and you have a chance to have your poochie neck thing drawn, or whatever it is. All right. So I'm gonna take this whole thing down to 25, and then just do a quick cleanup pass. I will use mostly black, and I'll take this from a soft 92 down to a hard 50, and I'll leave the opacity to 75 though. Dolly, I met you at in August at Morphicon, Miss Rage. Oh, okay, cool. We met at Morphicon. Did I sell you some, Dolly, did I sell you some buttons, some pins? Is that you? If not, then you were probably one of many other people I met that weekend. But that's cool that we met and you found me on here. Oh, awesome. Well, then I know exactly who you are. Cool. Well, thanks for checking out my Twitch. I'm new to this, as you could tell. I've only been doing it a few weeks, so there's still little technical glitches and issues. But I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. I'm gonna bring this. I was at 50, but I'm gonna bring this down to 34. Yeah, Ranger Step was cool, but it was very far. It is travel and outdoors because it wouldn't let me change it. It was like travel or outdoors or nothing. Those were my options. I don't. Yeah, it was travel and outdoors. I think because I had done a stream when I was at Ranger Stop, and it automatically defaulted to that. Yeah, and I can't figure out how to change it. That's the whole story there. All right, so we got one little ear going up like that, and then some kind of Chippendale little fuzzy head thing there, and then this ear kind of flopping down. I think I need to make this a little bit heavier. And little cutie eyes. Hey, I like cupcakes. I'm gonna use. Look over there while my tail gets cupcakes. You didn't notice. Ha ha ha. Now I have a poochy neck. I'm Cupcake. That's the story of Cupcake. Read along to find out more about the adventures of the tail swiping, cupcake loving character, Cupcake. Now with invisibility powers. Couple little eyelashes, which leads me to believe it is female. That's not necessarily definitive, but stereotypically in a cartoon like this, that would make it a female. Let's see. Favorite. Who is my favorite original Power Ranger? Well, if by original you mean Mighty Morphin, then I gotta go Tommy when he was green. He's definitely my favorite in the green mode specifically with his Dragon Zord that's basically like a Mecha Godzilla. Um, yeah, that's an easy answer from the originals. Let me see. I can show you how to change it. I thought Morphicon was too far. Yeah, Morphicon was far for me too, but it's different when you're working though, because like hopefully I can make the money to cover the costs, you know. But if you're just going there strictly as a fan, then yeah, it's all a loss of money, and hopefully you get enough fun to enjoy it. All right, there's a little mouth tongue. Let's see. Try to steal my burgers. Yep, that tongue for super quick. Basically everything about her is created to get cupcakes, is what I'm discovering about this character. Blat. I like cupcakes. Blat. All right, and she's got a little poochy neck. How much time we got? 20 minutes. Okay, we're doing okay. Because after I'm done, I gotta make way for Airzuki's stream, so can't hold up progress. I think I'd be doing a better job of this with the color, but I don't think I'm gonna have time to throw any color in, so I'm just gonna have to imagine the colorfulness that exists. Like for example, her pink cheeks. I don't want to just draw a circle because that's gonna look weird if I don't color it. And at the end of these little whiskery things, they all have their own little colors, but that's okay. Boop. Uh, Mine is blue. I'm numbing on burgers. Wait. No, do try to stream at the same time. Yeah. No, yeah, she's on the other side. We're both pretty loud, and it becomes a problem because she's like trying to call out Overwatch stuff, like, "Watch out for Junkrat," and I'm all like, "Hey, everybody, I'm John Cupcake." Plus, she's eating now, but I haven't eaten dinner yet, so it works that way too. That after I get off here, I'm gonna go make some food and maybe watch her stream. See that? The family that streams together can't support itself together. But if they don't stream at the same time, then they can watch each other. And there's all kinds of cool little color zimzams over here, but unfortunately I'm not doing color, so that and similar here, like I'm kind of indicating that there's the edge of brown onto white and stuff. But I'm coming close to the edge of this, and then I'm going to do a quick Jet Jaguar, and then one more request. So once again, if you guys have requests, throw it out. You can see I'm not getting a ton of requests today, which I'm not complaining about, but I'm just saying it means your chances of your request being chosen are much higher than previous. As of now, I haven't double checked the chat, but what was there before? I'm leaning towards doing the 80s Happy Meal Transformer food former that Ox was requesting. That's sort of the front runner without me double checking everything. So to give you an idea what might get drawn if you don't put your choice in, that might inspire you, or you might go, no, I want to see that. All right, and her tail, it's little fuzzles, and her footsie. Whenever you draw a character like this, everything you say gets cute. I mean, like it's not her foot, it's her footsie. I wouldn't say footsie if I was drawing a Power Ranger. I'd say boot. I did that too big. Let me see. That's not quite right. I'm not making the butt big enough. Sort of comes in and then out. and the butt and the leg are kind of one piece with all the fur and the fluffers. Fluffers. Yeah, that's better. And then this kind of comes in and out, and then this goes down like that. And this character definitely would be much improved by color. As I was talking about in one of the other streams, I did Slimer from the Real Ghostbusters and a few other animated characters, and I really feel like a lot of them are designed to have color. And so when you don't put the color, they just look incomplete, and that's kind of what we're seeing here. But hey, it's just a sketch. What are you gonna do? I'm just gonna put some indicators there, and I think that's about done. Little indicators. Blink, blink, blink. Gonna turn left. If I turn that off, yeah, it actually looks better with the layer underneath. I'm not gonna go with the shadow layer because I need to. Yeah, Slimer without color is just too weird. And yeah, I had done Slimer without color and it looked bizarre, so I threw some color in. I'm not going to do color here. I'm going to call this one done for now, or well, done forever, because it's just a sketch. I'll come back to it later, but that's not how this works. And I will name it Cupcake. Okay, now if I don't open a new file, but just erase these layers, you should still be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. Nope. But I am going to see if I can move this box real quick before I start the Jet Jaguar. Let me see. Window capture. Properties. Windows default lock screen. Window title must match. All right, so yeah, when I do just generic Photoshop, it totally disappears. And if I pick that, it's going to the left. Are you here to help me, Airzuki?
Maybe.
Airzuki might be here to help me, guys. Nope, she's not. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and start because I don't have time to muck around with this. Let's see. Let me get some Jet Jaguar reference up here real quick. And with Jet Jaguar, again, a character I've drawn before, but I want to make sure I have it straight in my head before I go into the final art for the commission I have. And I could do it on the commission, but I feel like it would be more fun to kind of do it this way and get some total requests in. Twitch requests. I keep saying total requests because of that old MTV show. Twitch request live. No videos. Well, except for the video you're watching. So there is a video. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to move this over. I feel like that centers me better. Yeah? Yeah. Maybe back a little bit here. I think he needs to change the way his Photoshop is set up. Okay, well, there you go. This is the new version of TRL. Okay, so going with Jet Jaguar. And once again, starting very rough with a big brush. Call it 120, 75%. And like with Ultraman, I'm just trying to get kind of the costume and major points. Oops, that is too dark. I'm going to bring that down. There we go. I'm just trying to get the costume and details down, not trying to get like a super nice finished piece of art. I think he has something to make it separate windows. If I do that, that fills up the whole thing, right? But that's not how you want to work. You want to be able to move the window around. But what's weird is I'm moving the window around right now. If you can see me doing it on my picture, but it's not moving as far as the stream is concerned. But it doesn't matter. We're just going to push on forward. So Jet Jaguar, how much time we got? Yeah, we got 13 minutes, so I'm going to make this quick. He has a little thing buckle on his belt that I don't know if I've ever drawn, so that's good that I'm looking at that, noticing that. And there's his foot and another leg and the other leg. And he has very Ultraman-like poses, very like, I'm a wrestler, karate, like I'm not a giant monster. I'm a human with fighting skills. And I keep adjusting my camera. Let's see. I like that the chat has now become tech support. I'll look into it before the next stream, but I've only got a little bit of time left, so I don't want to waste my time trying to figure out windows. As long as you guys can see it, it might not be in the ideal placement, but that's fine. All right, now I'll take this whole thing, bring it down to 50. You can screen capture that. I don't mind that, but I did it before and it was weird. I don't know. Yeah. I do not really Discord, lady. I go on to yeah, there you go. That's the Discord. It is Airzuki's Discord, which I am a part of, but I do not have my own because I would neglect it. I would be a neglectful person on there. And this way, if I am somewhat neglectful, hey, it's not mine. All right, so kind of got yellow shoulder pads, and then let me zoom in on this. I'm going to zoom in on my reference real quick. Excuse me. Oh, that did not do what I wanted it to do. Open link, open image in new tab. Yes. Okay. To talk about comms. Oh, if you want to hit me up privately, you could do it through Discord, but that's not the best way to do it. I'm on Instagram, Gazbot with two T's. I'm on Facebook as Gazbot. Either of those is fine. You know, email's fine too. If you did send me some on Discord, I'd probably get it eventually, but it's certainly not the most efficient way to get in touch with me. Facebook, I'm on every day. Instagram, I'm on every day. And my email, I check pretty regularly too. So, all right. So Jet Jaguar, he also has a rubber suit like Ultraman, but he's got these like rubber, like I don't know what you want to call them, but there's like layers, almost like the Michelin Man, but real small, intercut with like sheets of armor. So he's got this big armor plated thing, but then his arms have like bands on them, and he's got a big rubbery thing going up to his head, and his head's such a weird shape too. I'm not going to get too crazy into trying to make it. It's sort of like a diamond, like that. Let's see. Airzuki, thank you for sending a link to my Facebook, which is now in chat for anybody that wants it. That's my artist Facebook page. Don't do Facebook. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, if you do Instagram, like I said, I'm on that. But worst case scenario, you could hit me up on Discord, or you could hit Airzuki on Discord. She's sort of my unofficial manager, because she is better at social media than I am. I'm on Facebook and Instagram all the time, and then I have a Twitter and I have a Discord and all that stuff, but I just don't check it that much because I don't have the hours in the day to check everything I'm supposed to be checking. Yeah, I'm getting a little bogged down on the face, which is exactly what I didn't want to do here. He's got it's weird. He's got this creepy smile, which is sort of like evil and nice guy at the same time. He's a hero, but it looks almost like a Joker smile. All right, I'm not gonna worry about that smile too much anymore. But I did realize that this part, I drew the shape correctly, but it's got a lot of small rings like this, not one large ring. And then he's got a red shape here that's sort of like an arrow coming down. Yeah, that works. And then this is, like I said, a big armor piece. And under the armor piece, he's got more of these rings. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a straight line there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these connect like Sizzo. And in the middle of that, and this is a detail that I don't think I've gotten before, so that's why we do these things. It's sort of a crest of like a bird or something. I don't even know what it's supposed to be. It's a jaguar, whatever that is. And then this comes down like into his crotch, which is yellow, and then that's red. And I made his legs too short, but that's okay because we'll just adjust on the fly here. And then he has yellow knee pads that match his yellow shoulder pads. I know I'm not doing color right now. I'm just sort of saying it for myself so I internalize the details. Let me look at chat again real quick. Instagram, that's Dolly what you do. Well, yeah, I am on Instagram, but I'm trying to think. If you're not on Facebook, you're not on Instagram, and I'm not really doing Discord, then you talk to Airzuki. That's what you do. Which normally I wouldn't say, but she's right here, so that's fine. Oh, okay, email's good. Perfect. Let me see. He's got rings on his boots too. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, something like 12. I'm not gonna actually count them, but what I'll do is, it's almost like a leg warmer from the 80s. So I'll just sort of do a bunch of close rings like that. And I'm not gonna do too much more on him. After I do this pass, I'll throw in a couple colors to remind myself, and then I'm gonna be done. So once again, if you got some sketch requests you want to throw out, it's gonna be coming up soon, and I'm gonna be done pretty soon after that. So This is your final chance. I do this once a week. I stream more than once a week, but the only scheduled stream I have is Fridays, and it's Twitch Request Live, and it's always this format where I'm kind of doing some practice and some, uh, research, not research. Well, yeah, sure, research. Why not? On things that I'm going to be doing finished pieces for, but in between I take requests. So it's every Friday, 5:30. So if you want to check me out then, of course, if you're following me, then you'll get a notification. And if you are following me, thank you. And if you're not, well, hey, consider following me. It doesn't cost anything. And it'd sure make my day. I said that sarcastically, but I meant it. All right, so I'm going to stop farting around with him, and then I'm just going to put a quick color layer underneath. And so we got some blue, which will go on this part. Oh, I'm still at 75%. Quick, do a better brush so I can fill that in. There we go. Is that the only blue? Well, that he's got, oh, I see. He's got like a dark, I think it might be a darker blue, but it's hard to tell, but it kind of colors on top of the boots here, which is silver. I think it's supposed to be darker, but it could also be the shadow. But for now, I'm going to make it be the same color so it matches. And then when I go to work on the real one, I'll keep that in mind. Oh, he's got a little detail on the boot that I didn't notice. So let me put that in. It kind of matches the arrow on his chest like that. I'm making that too dark, but that's fine. That way I'll remember. And that's also blue. So, oops. So why is that still, oh, I can't switch. There we go. That's interesting. I never noticed that before. It's funny. I've seen this so many times, but then when you actually start to study it, you notice more details. Okay, so then he's got yellow coming up this way. Do 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 do. And then the yellow knee pads as we talked about. And the yellow shoulder pads, and then we'll go to a bright red, and that is this side and this side, as well as the top of his chest, and most of the rest of it's going to be silver, like Ultraman. Oh, he does have blue. Okay, he does have blue elbow areas, which are a little indistinct, but I'll just sort of throw some blue in there for now, and again, on the final, I'll have to do a little bit more research to make sure that's correct. And then I will grab a sort of darker gray than Ultraman had, because Ultraman sometimes can look a little shiny. But Jet Jaguar is definitely not shiny. He's got not a shiny hiney. What? All right, fill that in. And I'm looking at the chat. I don't think anything new got put in there for suggestions. I'll do a double check in a minute. But as of now, it looks like I'm going to do a robot hamburger from a Happy Meal from McDonald's from the 80s. That seems to be what we're going to close out with, unless I get some last minute suggestions that unseat it as the victor. All right, and I'll fill that in, fill that in, fill that in, fill that in. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the opposite of what I normally do. I normally do a shadow layer. I'm going to do a highlight layer. Same principle though, 50%, grab white, and just do highlights like that. It's the inverse of what we normally do, but it works just as well to give it the veneer of a more finished picture, even though it's still just a sketch. All right, and then we'll call that done. Save as Jet J, and then I'll erase all of these. All right, I'm gonna double check the suggestion box here. Dolly Girl, awesome. Oh, thank you, Dolly Girl. I do what I can. All right, so I'm just looking at the chat. Excuse my rudeness. Voice collide. A little garlic salt in the pan. Talking about how you cook burgers. Draw, Discord. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, so I think that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with the 80s. I gotta find a picture of it. 80s Transformer hamburger. Let's see what we get there. Oh, it came up pretty quick. All right, I just got to find a clear enough picture that I could use. Oh my God, it's this thing. This thing is terrible looking. I knew it was. I don't even think it's the best of these types of things. All right. What is that? Oh, wait, there's different ones? Oh, I guess they came out the 80s and the 90s. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a good picture I could use. 1987. All right, this one doesn't. Yeah, this is. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find a real good. Oh, it's from a video. That's why. All right, this is gonna be a little rough because the picture is super low quality, but I'm just gonna go for it. So do this. Oops, gotta lower the opacity a little bit. Um, oh, that's a good idea. The chicken nugget from the 80s that is a vampire. That's a great suggestion. I'm at this point I'm already locked into what I'm doing, and I don't really have a lot of time left. I should be done with the stream in 2 minutes. I'll probably be going over, but uh, yeah, the 80s, the chicken McNugget when they all dressed up as Halloween characters, that was great, and the vampire especially was a good one. I agree with you there. Maybe on a future one, maybe next Friday, come back, request it again. Maybe I'll do it then. But for now, I'm already locked into the Transformer hamburger mode that Ox requested earlier. So the bottom looks basically like a hamburger. There's some cheese. Well, I guess actually it's not a hamburger. It's like a Big Mac because it's got cheese and two patties. So that I guess that's the distinction. Maybe there was a hamburger. Well, let's say maybe he literally wanted the hamburger, but it's too late now. I'm locked into Big Mac. Sorry, Big Mac's getting it. So then inside this is all sort of hollow. Well, I don't want to darken that in. I want to have it be hollow. And then the robot sort of pops up out of it, and it's got bright colors. I'm going to do another quick pass, and then I'll throw some color on this because I feel like without color it looks like nothing. Because this is all like turquoise. I think this is from '87. They may have done them multiple times, but I believe the version I'm doing is from '87 based on the reference picture I'm looking at. And then he's got kind of like vents here. And then the hands. Oh wait, let me do the head. So there's vents. And then this comes up and out. And then the head is sort of in here. It's really weird looking. I can't even tell. It's not like some Transformers where it's kind of a humanoid face. It's like just like shapes and colors that I guess make it be a face. Like, I don't know. And without the color, it really just looks like a mess. Okay, and then this part here, excuse me, is part of the bun, I suppose, and that comes down. And then he's got little pink hands with like a thumb and just some nodules. Nodules? I don't know what you call them. And then his arms are once again kind of part of the bun, but they're flat on the top. Actually, this is not coming out so bad. I might be able to just throw some color on top of it. Maybe just clean up the bun part on the bottom a little bit. All right, and then yeah, this bun comes down here, and I'll fill that in. And then another little piece of whatever that is. And then these come in a little bit more. All right, I'll do a, we're not doing as bad. It's 7 now, so that's not too bad. I'll do a super quick cleanup pass. Let's see. Next time. Yes. All right, so bring this down to 50. Bring that up. And opacity 75. Hey, Q. I might go a few minutes over. Okay. I'm living my dreams. I think, yeah, I'm going to have to put a little bit of color in this. Because it really, I mean, it's kind of clunky and weird to begin with, but at least with the color, you could tell a little bit more what's going on. Oh, Ox came back. Nailing it. Thank you. I don't know what lady. I don't know. Is that like a sheep eating a heart? I can't. That's a crazy emote. I like it, but I don't know what it is. Ox, is this the one you meant? Because I realized that there was like hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, and then there were multiple years as well. So this is the 1987 Big Mac Transformer specifically. Looks like a sloth hugging a heart. Oh, okay. I dig it. All right. So I probably didn't need to go back over this. I don't know why I did this, but I'm doing it now, so there we go. Probably because when I put the color in, it'll work a little bit better this way. I think one of the Three Stooges is my house back there. I don't know what's going on. I just heard things falling over and whoop, 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 whoop. Okay. And another little blue bot. Oops. Did that wrong. That's why undo is our friend. Darken that in. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Much more wholesome than what you thought. Yeah, that's the one. We're on the same vibe. Oh, awesome. So this is the one. Oh, hype, 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 hype. Got some improved AI, hyping it. Go bots, go! I think this is Transformers, sir. You could double check me, but it's listed as Transformers. So either it's not affiliated with GoBots or Transformers, and it's just a generic Transformer that McDonald's created, or Transformers licensed the name, and this is an official Transformer. but I don't see the word GoBots. Although, as I was saying before, this they did release these multiple years, so maybe in a later year it became GoBots. Or you're just calling it a GoBot because it's kind of goofy and fits in with the GoBot style more than with the Transformer style. I'll accept that answer too. Or you just made a mistake and I called you out for no reason. All right, so we'll get in with this little patty area. I should probably put a little bit more texture on here. Is this supposed to be like the meaty? Well, it's plastic, but you know, the hamburger bun area. Not bun, sorry, patty. Meat patty. The bun is underneath. The bun is underneath right here with a little bit of lettuce sticking out. And I think I need to put, are there sesame seeds on it? No, there are, but on the top. So on like the little parts of the guy's arms and his head and stuff, that's where the sesame seeds go. And then we got another bun. I keep confusing. Another meat patty, then another bun. So I'll sort of darken this up. And then the cheese comes out little wedges. And we're almost done with that. Yeah, I don't want to get too crazy. And then the vents I already did. And then this all here is like part of the mechanism for how it transforms. Put a little bit more black. Can I erase that? I can, but I'm going to put it down to 25 and leave it. And then I'm just put a quick color layer. We're at 7:04, so we're doing pretty good on time. Airzuki's going to be starting her stream very shortly if she hasn't already. And then I'm going to rate it. So all of you can stay or go, but I'm going to throw you right into her channel after this. So if you want to keep hanging out, you'll have an immediate host. Isn't that right, Zooks? Yeah, she says. Wow, I grabbed that color at random, just eyeballing it, and it's almost exactly the color of plastic bread that McDonald's thinks is plastic bread. So I'm pretty happy with that. I usually have to experiment a little bit. Okay, so this is all plastic bread. I'm just going to color the hand, and then I'll go back in and color pink on top of it. It'll be easier than trying to skip it. You know, this might be my favorite drawing of the night. It's so goofy, but like it's fun and it's sort of effortless to do. So Ox had suggested Gravedigger, which is my least favorite drawing of the night, and he also suggested this, which is my most. So if you balance it out, he's got like a C+ with suggestions. Okay, that's some more bun there. And a little bit there. Okay, then I'll go in with the meat color. Meat color. Once again, I think that's a good choice for plastic meat. I'm happy. I'm a happy, happy meat man. That sounds weird. What is chat saying? McNugget transformed into... Okay. Dolly Girl, the burger from Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. That's what this from. You know, I've watched some Ex-Aid, but I don't remember a burger. I haven't watched all of it, though, so I will trust you on that. Yep. Cheeseburger robot. Yeah, the monster truck. You didn't miss much. I had a hard time with it. You missed me flailing about explaining how I wasn't doing a good job. Oh, I hear a stream setting up in the background. I feel like pretty soon Airzuki's going to take to the waves. She hasn't started yet. She thinks I said she started, but I didn't. I just said she's going to start soon. All right. This color, you know, it's not that blue. It's actually more of like that 90s, even though this is 80s, it's not. It's like a teal. Like it's a tealish color that you saw everywhere. Especially there was like Little Tikes like plastic play sets. I used to work at a toy store and we sold them constantly. And like it was a super popular color, this teal, and then sort of a reddish magenta, which is another color on this transformer that I'll be adding in a moment. So even though this is 87, it definitely was starting to get ready to be the 90s based on this color scheme that I'm putting in. And I'm not making it up. It's what, you know, the photo has of this character from that time. Okay, there we go. See that sort of magenta? And then a little magenta here and here. And this whole thing, again, like I'm doing this face pretty accurate, I believe, but it's just a weird non-face. Like they didn't bother making it look like a human or a cheetah or something. It's just like, that's the face. It's colors flopped in there. All right, and now I will, it almost, oh, you know, it almost looks like a chicken. I don't think that's what they're going for, but it almost looks like a chicken. All right, I'm going to throw a little bit of background color here just to give Zooks a few more minutes to set up. Do a little bit of blue. Let's see, Monster Truck. My favorite is the ones that turn into dinosaurs. You mean your favorite Transformers turn into dinosaurs, or was there a food transformer that turned into dinosaurs? Because that could break everything. The Dinobots were very cool, though. I agree, if that's what you're talking about. A little bit of blue. A little bit of blue. Samurox, I'm telling you, I bet you make a set of prints of these bots, and I bet they sell like hotcakes. That's not the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Doing a set of the burger fry bots and stuff. All right, let me make this a little bit bigger. Florts. Just to fill it in a little bit. So we are coming to the close of the stream. Like I said, I'm going to rate it over to Arazuki when I'm done. But I would like to thank everybody for stopping by, for the hosts, the new subscribes, the follows, everything, the lurkers, any amount of interest you've shown in this, I appreciate. And I pop on from time to time randomly, but always Friday night is going to be my goal, and that is when I will have the requests. So if this sort of show interests you, Friday nights is the time, especially the cosplay nuggets. Yeah, we were talking about those before. All right, so I'm going to actually take this background and bring it down to 50. That's better. And I'll save this as Burger Bot. And I'm going to close that. Yeah, this has been a good time. I hope you all had fun. Once again, I appreciate you checking it out, hanging out, and don't be shy about having some requests next time. Come locked and loaded, ready to go. But for now, I am going to quick open up my here we go. Open up my Twitch page here, and then we're going to try to raid the Arazuki here. Let's see if we could do it. I think it's exclamation point / raid. How do you raid again? Oh, / raid. Okay, I thought there was an exclamation point. All right, you guys ready? I'm powering down. Oh! We've done it.